Hey guys, today's question is permutation in string. In this question, we are given with two strings s1 and s2, given as p and s in the function, and we have to return true if s2 contains a permutation of s1 and false otherwise. It is, in other words, return true if s1's permutation is a substring of s2. So, like an example, s1 is ab. Now, if any permutation of ab exists in s2, then we have to return true. So, as you can see, ba here we can see BA exists in the S2, which is a permutation of AB, so we return true in this case. Now in this case AB, we can't find AB or BA as any substring in this S2. We can find B and A, but they are not adjacent, so in this case we return false. So it is a simple sliding window concept. What we need to do is first we will make a window, because the number of character will be exact equals to the s1. So what we can simply do is, as there are two characters, we will make a window of two size, and we will count the number of characters, count the frequency of every character in the s1 array, and we will match with the s2 array. So here E and I has count 1 and A and B have count 1. So this is not a permutation. Then we move forward. Let's suppose we will take I pointer before J pointer, and J will be at end. So J will be moved to D and I will be moved to I. So the count of E will be decremented when we move ith pointer, and the count of D will be incremented in the map of S2. So we will check for I and D. Number of characters doesn't match to S1. Then we will check for D and B. After that we will check for B and A. And then in this point, at this point, when we check for B and A, number of characters of B is 1 here and A is also 1 here. And in the S1 string, number of character of A is 1 and B is 1. So at that point we will return true. So the simple approach is to first make a window of the same size and count the frequency of vectors, and just move this window by moving ith and jth pointer by 1 at every step. And at any step, if we found the count of number of vectors in the s1 is number equals to s2, we will return true. For that, we will traverse in the unordered map and check for that. Now let's code for that. So simply we first need two maps. Okay, so unordered map, let's take the map of character and integer, as you have to count the frequency of characters. And let's take is at mp and second as mp2. Now we will first check if the size of s1 is bigger than s2. Then of course s2 can't exist, any permutation of s1 can't exist in s2. So if the size of p is greater, so if p dot size is greater than s dot size, then we return false. Okay, now first we will make the window. So let's declare I is 0 and j is 0, and we have to make the window of size of p as in the given for s1. So simply run a loop till while j less than p dot size. Now while creating the window, we will insert the frequency of both maps. Okay, frequency of vectors in the both maps, as we have to check for the this window also. So let's write for both maps. So mp of p of j for the string p, and mp2 is for a string j. Okay, let's increment characters and increment j. Now after doing this, when the loop will terminate, our j pointer will reach here at d, but we need j pointer here. Okay, so we will simply decrement j by 1, j minus minus. Now we will run a loop for checking all the windows, and while looking for all windows, we will traverse on the maps to check if the frequency of every characters match at that point or not. So while, as we have to move till end, so while j less than s dot size, what we'll do is we will traverse in map. Okay, so for auto, first we will traverse in map, after that we will increment and decrement. So auto x mp. Okay, Okay, so we have to check the count for the key x. Okay, so the count in the current map MP will be x dot second, and count for same character in MP2 will be MP2 of x dot first. Okay, first. Now, if they are not equal, in that case we will break, and we have to take a variable also to check that there was any character or not. So let's take a flag as one, and when we found that the frequency doesn't match at any point, we will change the value of flag as 0. Now if flag is not changed as 0, flag is still 1, that means all the characters were matched at that point. So if flag double equals to 1, we will return true at that point. Okay, now we also need to change the window, so we will decrement I pointer and increment j pointer, and we will, as we decrement I pointer, so the frequency of the character that was at the ith index will be decremented, and the frequency and the new frequency will be added to the jth pointer. Okay, so first we will decrement the value in the map 2. Okay, so s of I minus minus, as we are moving I into the window. So okay, after that increment I. Now we will increment j and increase the frequency of the current character. uh, but there is edge case. If j is here, so j, while doing j plus plus, j will reach here, and at that point we need to terminate the loop. Okay, so but this condition is not after the incrementation of j. We are writing MP2 s of j plus plus, so this will give the error of heap buffer flow. So before doing this, we will check if j is in the size or not. So if j less than s dot size, only in that case we will increment value. Okay, now if we don't find any value true, we can simply return false, because there is no permutation. Let's run this. Error, network error, wait a second.